So wherever possible, we want to put teachers in the role as learners. We believe strongly that teachers need to experience this kind of learning in order to be able to facilitate this kind of learning in their classroom. As with the arts, many teachers have had mixed experiences in the sciences and often lack confidence and experience in the sciences. So we want to give them a chance to experience the excitement of making discoveries in the sciences and perhaps experience the sciences in a different way than they were taught science themselves as students. The growth and decay activity is a way to do some fairly accessible learning right in the classroom. The decay was simply some fruits in Tupperware containers, which is pretty low prep for a teacher to bring into the classroom, and yet you can watch this biological event taking place over time. It gets at one key ways or strategies of using the field journal, which is documenting change over time. And it can be as simple as a decaying strawberry and looking at all of the activity involved in that. In terms of growth, we went for a little bit of the shock and disgust factor with mosquito larva, which is the creature. We also approached it as a mystery organism, so we're not telling the teachers ahead of time what they're looking at. We've done this activity with students many times as well, and again, we don't tell the students what they're looking at.
Very excited to introduce our next activity, growth and decay. One way that you can use a field journal is to track changes over time. These could be changes happening in your schoolyard. It could be your view once a week of the cloud patterns on the ridge line and how that changes over time. It could be changes over the course of the day and the play of shadows on the ground in a particular spot. It could be something that's growing, perhaps in a school garden, right? Or in this case, something that's decaying. But that's one way, and one role that drawing can play is to look at changes over time. And there's lots of different ways that you can do that. So for your first page, the title is going to be Growth and Decay. And on that page, if you could also write Mystery Organism. And then on the accompanying page, so this is my field journal. On this page, I can have Growth and Decay, Mystery Organism. And on this side, I can have Growth and Decay, Fruit Decay. Okay, so we're going to keep track of two different things. And looking at your sheet, it suggests that you could also include the date, right? We want to include the date, the time, and that's going to be important to this activity since we're tracking changes over time. To have a record of the date and time is going to be useful information. And location. Here you are at the Honolulu Museum of Art School. All right. I have included some tools for you, some magnifying glasses. You also have colored pencils. I'm going to point out a critical distinction between the colored pencils. Some are in these red cups, and if you pull these out, there's a little paintbrush on this pencil. Okay, and that indicates this is a watercolor pencil, which means if we add water to it, it will spread just like watercolor. Whereas these other pencils in the white containers, they don't have the paintbrush. It's just a normal color pencil. If I paint over this with water, it won't really spread. So just some choices of what to use, and later we'll make brushes available and water available. There's also the Sharpies if you want a nice bold line, and we will pass around sketch pencils if we haven't. I think most of you have, but if you don't have, let me know. If you could take Anyone missing a sketch pencil? Do you have? Oh, yeah. We can kind of share pencils. We'll get some more pencils if we see there's a shortage. Okay. So the mystery organism is you are going to get a little container that has a mystery organism. Some of you may, in fact, know what this mystery organism is. It may not be so mysterious for you, but I'm going to ask that you keep that in your own mind, any knowledge that you might have of this organism, because for other people, it will be a mystery organism, and we want to give everyone a chance to kind of make their own study of this organism and how it changes over time. And the fruit decay is no real mystery. It's going to be a strawberry or a banana in a little container. As you may have noticed, if you go to Safeway, sometimes the strawberries are already on their way out the door, so it wasn't very hard for me to find some prime candidates for this activity. But my wife benefited because I gave her all of the good ones out of the container. So here's the mystery organisms. They're kind of small, and there's little holes in the top to let air in, and they will stand fine like this, but if you bump the table, they may fall over and spill some of the water. So try to be a little bit careful, and when you're not using, or if you want like a stable place, I'm going to pass out these cups here. So if you're getting up from your table and you want to just give it a little sturdier setting, this should keep it from getting knocked over. All right, so I'm going to start by passing out the mystery organism, and you can get started on your first entry. Think about some of the things that Emily talked about in terms of line weight, in terms of diagrammatic drawing, of labeling. In a field journal entry, we want to use both written words and drawn observations to record what you're noticing. Take a look at the drawing tips as well to give you some ideas. And we're just going to start by exploring this. You'll notice that there's a number on each of these. You also want to record the number because we want you to observe the same organism over time. So you're going to get this back on Wednesday and again on Friday.